Please don't blame me for all my past. Cause everything we can see is just a joke, nothing more. Everything we're calling truth suddenly will kill ourselves. Can't find the spinning deep inside of me. Wasting time, but it's fun. Not even that can make me feel. Can't find the spinning deep inside of me. Wasting time, but it's fun. Not even that can make me feel. We're the team, selling lies for ourselves, killing in the name of this hell. It's everything we can see is just a joke, nothing more. Everything we're calling truth suddenly will kill ourselves. Can't find the spinning deep inside of me. Wasting time, but it's fun. Not even that can make me feel. Can't find the spinning deep inside of me. Wasting time, but it's fun. Not even that can make me feel.
What's going on, guys? You're very welcome to another Degenerate Watch live stream, and it's a bit of an unusual time for me to be having a live stream, but I decided just to test everything out before I have the main live stream, hopefully later on this evening, just to make sure there wasn't any bugs to iron out, because it's been quite a while since I had a stream. So I have some stuff ready for that stream later on, some clips to watch, and then obviously some stuff to talk about. But I just decided to come on for a little bit now and just make sure everything was working okay before I had some sort of disaster later on. So yeah, so as I said, yeah, so it's been quite a while. There was stuff I had planned to talk about in the Degenerate Discussions live stream, but it was, some of it was from a long time ago, so I might still touch on some of that stuff, but there's a couple of other bits I do want to talk about, including that court case that we covered in another live stream. Remember the Irish crime one? We covered the Regency Hotel shooting, and the court case kind of just finished up in relation to that there recently. So we'll be discussing a bit about that and the verdict and some stuff like that. So I'm just going to check in with the comments there. First, before we go on, hello to everyone that's watching us there at the moment. Hello to Sean, hello to Kiwi Dave, to Peck. Good to see you all here. Hello to Simon Mitchener, good to see you as well. And Kiwi Dave saying, hope everyone's having a lovely day and evening. And yeah, I hope the same. I hope everyone's doing well. Peck said, are we auditing a random street in Ireland? Yeah, it kind of looks like that. You'll see people from time to time in front of that pub kind of pausing for selfies and stuff like that. When I was setting it up earlier, there was a group of tourists there getting a few photographs. I don't know if many of them are aware that they're being streamed on the webcam that's there, but yeah, we had we had a different view from a webcam that's across from the GPO on a previous stream, but I just thought this might be a little bit more interesting, especially since it's kind of daytime, so there'll be more people around. Simon says, surprised to see you in the hours of light. Yeah, I know. Usually it's a lot later on when we be having the streams, but yeah, I just decided to come on for a bit just before dinner time, and kind of the only thing that I'm certain of is that we're going to look at a video or two of some police chases, because I want to kind of keep the other stuff for the stream, hopefully later on. But yeah, so I hope everyone's been keeping well. It's been a while since I've caught up with everyone in a stream, because most of the videos there that I've done lately have been kind of shorter, especially on the premiere, so you don't really get a chance to chat to anybody kind of in the side chat before it's kind of over. But I hope everyone's been doing well. Coming into this kind of spring here now, but like we're starting to get some summery weather, like, so it's kind of good to be able to get out and enjoy it. But it's quite nice out there today. It can be a bit nippy at times, depending. Like sometimes it's a bit windy, but it's been quite good today. At least it's staying dry out there. And it's good for business here as well on the street here, because at least people can actually go about what's going on. It was in Dublin at the weekend, and it was fairly wet. Me and a friend went out for a bit of a walk, and we brought his two dogs, and of course the two dogs were running around in the muck and all, so they were completely destroyed. But it was yeah, it was still nice to go out, but it was a very wet day. That was on Saturday there. But yeah, so I hope everyone's been doing well anyway. Dave said I didn't think the General Watch even knew what daylight was. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm like one of these vampires or something like that. I won't go out in the daylight. I know I do go out in the daylight though. Go for a walk and all that. But yeah, it's usually later, and the streams kind of when they're later, it usually goes on for quite a while, and then it could be like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning that you're sitting here and you're kind of red-eyed and falling asleep or whatever. That's where all those choo-choo moments come from, Dave. That's what that's all about there. But a sound for the super chat there, Simon, for the £5 there. Simon sent, we're getting some Scooby snacks or two for the Wolfies. And yeah, I just actually, somebody was asking me the other day in one of the comments, I can't remember what video it was, but it was like a video or two ago that I did, just asked how the Wolves were, and I will be doing another Wolf update video. Hopefully now the start of next month, so the start of May there, I should have another one with some updates on some of the news. I was saying as well that a lot of the Wolves there, since it's kind of, breeding season and all, a lot of the Wolves there are celebrating birthdays this month. I think there's like 21 Wolves at the centre, all have their birthdays this month. So a lot of treats probably being given out in there for all the birthdays. But you'll have some news on that, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there has been some good news in terms of the way they're obviously like they encourage breeding there, and they're expecting some litters this season, but that's what they'd been hoping for, like, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so there's a bit of news from there, and that'll be coming up. That'll be coming up at the start of May there, and then obviously in June then there'll be another one, because that'll be coming up on the time when we'll be kind of renewing the subscriptions, the adoptions and all that. So yeah, so I'll have another one then, and I'm hoping to have another couple of bits and bobs in June as well, because the channel will be a big 3 years old at that stage. So I'm hoping to do something then for that. And I hope you're having a nice day there at work, Dave. Have you long left, or are you only after starting, or there's a double empty hour for your choo-choo? Well, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it for now anyway. But yeah, yeah. So there was something there I seen. Right there, I have to find my phone there. I put it down. There was a thing I seen there. If anybody remembers that guy from Jackass, Bam Margera, I just seen a thing on the news earlier on that he has been, well, there's a warrant has been issued for his arrest. He's said to have fled into the woods after an alleged assault and is yet to be found. So they were doing pretty well at one stage. Like he was a skateboarder and also like a TV personality on that show Jackass. And yeah, like it seems that he's kind of taken a fall. Like, but I thought that was interesting when I seen that there. It was saying the article was saying Jackass star Brandon Bam Margera is wanted by police after he allegedly punched his brother in the face during a physical confrontation at their home. Margera, a US TV personality and former professional skateboarder, fled the Philadelphia property on foot through dense woods before troopers arrived. Officers were called to the address at Pocopson Township, Chester County, in response to a reported domestic disturbance shortly before 11 a.m. local time on Sunday. Investigation found Margera was involved in a physical confrontation and the victim suffered minor injuries. Margera's brother said the former star pounded and kicked on his locked bedroom door on the morning of the attack. Margera also said his brother punched him in the eye, nose, and ear during the alleged confrontation in the kitchen. He also says he found a threatening handwritten note signed by Bam, according to a police statement. A warrant has been issued and police are looking for Margera. The 43-year-old is charged with simple assault, harassment, and 4 counts of terroristic threats. So it's not looking good for him anyway. And then officers are urging anyone. So if any of you guys out there seen Bam Margera, please do let the police know. But yeah, it seems that they seem to have been doing well at one stage, if you know what I mean. I don't know how some of the other guys. I know one of the guys from Jackass, I can't remember which guy it was, but he used to actually live not so far away from where I live here. I don't know if he actually lived there permanently or he had some sort of like a holiday home or an extra home or whatever, but he used to be around the area. I remember a couple of people saying they used to see him about and all, like, you know, which was kind of weird. But yeah, it's not looking good for him. And Peg said, I remember he was a shitty skater. I don't even remember him skateboarding. The only thing I remember him in was in Jackass. Like, you know what I mean? Even back then, even though, like, I think back when like that was all going on, like I would have been interested in skateboarding and all that, like, you know, so I thought I would have known that. But yeah, so I'm gonna see, can I get a clip up here now in a second? I don't know what happened with that webcam there. It looked like it froze. So yeah, I'm gonna see, can we take a look at something here now? Yeah, so yeah, so I've actually seen 2 clips recently about police cars being stolen, and that's what I kind of wanted to look at in this little stream here. There was one where it's in, I think both of them are in LA. Yeah, both of them are in California. One is a California Highway Patrol vehicle that was stolen, and the other is a sheriff's cruiser that was stolen by a female suspect. But yeah, I just thought that was very odd, like 2 in very close succession to each other. But I'm gonna try get this up now in a second. Simon's just saying there, I don't think I'd recognize any of the people from Jackass, even if they bit me on the leg, but I may know them if they punch me in the face. Yeah, that's a good one. No, but I can't even remember like some of the other guys. I remember Johnny Knoxville. I think there was Steve-O. I think that could have been the guy that was around here. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was a few of them anyway. But I don't know. Did I can't. Maybe I'm getting confused now, but I think I seen something not that long ago. Maybe they were going to redo a movie, but I don't think Bam Margera was involved in it because I think he had some issues going on at the time, and they were trying to get him, you know, to cop on or whatever, like to come back or something. But I don't know what was going on. I remember reading something about that a while ago. There's how Peg when I wasn't a skater, but yeah, I just had an interest in it. No, I'd say if I had got up on a skateboard now, I said I'd have broke myself up. More likely to, you know. But yeah, Peg was saying I was a skater around that time and he wasn't good. He had a range of products. And that's what I said. I wonder was like one of those that kind of just cash in on the bit of fame, like, you know, and put out an line of products there or whatever. But even if they're not any good, it's like, you know, the Krusty the Clown in The Simpsons, like all the products, all these products, he probably does not know half of them in it. Like I think it was one episode where they were like, he was just approving all the products, like, you know, and they were all like crap. But yeah, and I suppose I think what happens sometimes when people are really like kind of young, kind of at that sort of age, and they get kind of really famous really quick, and a lot of money comes in, it kind of, you know, kind of goes to their head, and they end up spending it on, and it ends up, you know, on drugs or drink, or to just blow the money and end up kind of, kind of in a bad place, like. But yeah, no, it's definitely not easy with my forgetful memory, Dave. But yeah, so we'll have a look at this this CHP pursuit there of a stolen CHP vehicle. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit I'm getting a bit sidetracked there. And hello to Roisin there joining us. Good to see you. A bit of an early stream than usual. Nice, we get this clip going here.
Following a high-speed pursuit, a suspect took that patrol car. We believe in the north end of the San Fernando Valley. Didn't have that confirmed. They have a name of the suspect. We're not releasing that, but we do understand he has some mental health issues. May want to, according to one report, be involved in a suicide by police officer. That was not confirmed, but we did hear that report. They had talked, we believe, to family members to get that information. But we understand that this was up to 100 miles an hour
Is the
or more at some
sound
point
on
the
that
5
clip
freeway.
playing there?
Then got onto the 138. We're headed into the Lancaster area, the west end of Lancaster,
right,
if you will.
sharing the
Up
sound
to
on
100
it.
miles an hour on the freeway into oncoming traffic at one point in time, and then brandishing a weapon at the officers. They said he had an AK-47 on board, and they believe possibly a shotgun. So as we open up out of this shot, you can tell, open a little bit further, there's a patrol car behind him.
Oh, that's good, Pick. No, I wasn't
And
sure
I'm
if
pausing for a
the
moment.
audio
Jay, are
was
you trying to
sharing.
get hold of me? Do you have a signal issue? All right, well, I'll go in the blind. I'm not sure. I heard something that maybe we have a signal issue, but
Forms and surveys like this get responses like that. With Typeform, you can ask
A
less
good
like a
situation
form
there,
and
anyway.
more like yourself. Give your forms and surveys a
there are several patrol cars behind this. They don't have an air unit overhead right now. Jay, if you can hear me, are you trying to get me information about our signal? Is that what I'm hearing over and over again?
To him actually getting that car off the
at
police
this point
officer.
In time, we are on the 138. We're headed eastbound out towards the Lancaster area. You can see 90 miles an hour. And boy, it's dicey in a situation like this. Moments ago, we saw the vehicle go into oncoming lanes because it's just a 2-lane highway out in this area, and then swiftly get back into the right lane, into their lane. But authorities at this point in time, they're like for no reason, possibly to get around a spike strip.
Well, I think California is the car chase capital anyway.
But all of a sudden,
seems to be always a chase going on, no matter what time of the day it is.
And then going into back into the other lane with several patrol cars right behind. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. All right, copy that, Jay. You say the cut-in is coming up. Can you talk to me on microwave, please?
There's actually a good clip out there of a guy, and I think he's recording the police chase on his TV. It's a really old clip, but he's recording the police chase on his TV, and then like he lifts the phone up and like points it out his window, and the chase is going by outside his house. Like, it's such a deadly video. It's a real old one though. It's years old now, but I always think of that when I see police chases, just people, you know, watching them and then coming out and seeing them going by the house. Must be a bit surreal.
See him swerving into the westbound lane, headed eastbound on the 138. All of a sudden having to get back because staying in that lane, there's a construction vehicle. You see that come into sight. And then you see all those trucks and other vehicles behind Looks like he's going to try and go around the right shoulder.
Yeah,
here
it's
to get
so
around
funny.
that
Like he's
semi,
just sitting in the
and
house
it's
and like
extremely
this
difficult for the other patrol
chaos is
cars to
going by
really stay
outside.
behind him in a situation like this. They may try and do that. More than likely, they'll wait for a time to go around that semi that is now pulling off to the shoulder, and they're going to be able to get right back behind him once again. But it's a
At
dangerous
least
situation. You
this
have
guy's
someone who's
out on the
unstable.
open
They
road.
stole
He's
a
not like
patrol
in a
car. They've
built-up
traveled
area.
into oncoming traffic at speeds
Or, like,
up to 100
hopefully
miles an hour.
that's not where he
We
heads.
understand they know who this individual
Yeah,
is.
hey
They
there,
do believe he has
Salacious.
mental health issues, possibly armed with a shotgun and an AR-15. We believe those weapons were brandished at the officers. We heard that communication ongoing. And now we just have a high-speed pursuit of a patrol car that has been stolen, that CHP vehicle. At this point in time, the other patrol cars really aren't anxious to get right behind this vehicle. Obviously, the individual is armed. I did hear a call go out from one of the officers, the lead officer behind this, to try and get an idea how much fuel they believe inside the patrol car, trying to get a hold of the officer at the scene of
Hopefully he
what
didn't
may have
fill it
been an
up before he
accident
went out on patrol.
where the vehicle was actually stolen. So that'll give them some type of idea how long this could actually go on. Now, we'll be in the Lancaster area if we continue at this rate of speed, probably Palmdale, Lancaster
Worst
area in
thing
the
about
next
the
4 or 5 minutes. But
pursuits
up
is
ahead,
that, like,
there's going to be another intersection here.
and I
can't quite tell
it's
if there
just when they're
might be a
speeding,
spike.
like, and you just think about innocent people out, going about their business, going doing their shopping, bringing their kids somewhere, and like these people are out speeding around and all. Like all they want to do is get away. Like I just do. Like you kind of think about that, especially sometimes when there be these chases going on in the middle of the day during the week, like, and to be in residential areas when to be kids going to school, and sometimes to actually say that. But this is pretty good, I suppose, because it's wide open and there's not really many people around. Maybe the officers got a chance to close off some of the like side roads.
Be the case, but it looks like they want to stop traffic.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Continuing into this patrol car. It looks like it's slowing down quite a bit. There may be a spike strip out there. They may try and get around it.
I thought he was going to stop there.
There we go. I'm ready to join Philip whenever he comes on. Marcel, could you tell if the spike strip was hit there? There was not one.
Probably could have done with a spike strip there.
So
They
it
might have even
doesn't
got
appear
him.
that a spike strip was actually hit there, although that appeared to have been a good opportunity.
Yeah, I heard AK-47 and I thought that was a bit weird at the start, but AR-15 probably and a shotgun, they were probably in the patrol car. It was not an AK, yeah. Unless it was just some unconfirmed report or something. But yeah.
Yeah, Philip, crazy high-speed pursuit. If I can let the transmission know we have a mixed minus, we have that echo. We're trying to get rid of that if we can. But this started, we believe, Philip, down in the Santa Clarita, Newhall area, possibly after an accident, and then the suspect jumping on board.
Peg saying there that they should have devices that disable the engine with a remote. I suppose that could be hacked and used against the cop stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean. I suppose so, but maybe if they had something that maybe they only activated, when the car was stolen or something like that. As soon as like someone goes off, the car will be activated and then disable the car or something. Yeah, some sort of system like that would be good. Because I know like probably a lot of patrol cars now are tracked anyway and stuff. So, there's definitely a way of doing that. And Simon saying to hack the Jeep Cherokees. See, remember that thing that there's some tool. I think it's banned now from being sold on Amazon or something. It's like Flipper or something it's called. There was people were able to break into cars using it or something like that. And then there was actually another thing going on. I have a clip later on of this young lad. They were like doing some TikTok trend where they're trying to steal Kias. I think they're called Kia boys or Kia kids or something like that, where they try steal Kias. There's some way of doing it or something, and there's some TikTok trend, of course. And yeah, so that's not good. Some lady came out and found some like guy, I don't know, it must have been about 13 or 14 trying to steal her car, and then he just ran off. But yeah. And then Simon said, yeah, that'll be the easy solution. Take the keys out when they get out of the car. Like in that other clip that we were looking at, that other video I did with the guy where he ended up getting shot because he was trying to take off in the police car. Like, yeah, if the officer possibly had just took the keys out that time, that situation may not have happened. Oh yeah, Salacious is saying they're having to start using that new invention in California that snags the back tires in a type of net deployed from the front of the chase car. Yeah, I've seen a couple of demo clips of that. I hadn't actually seen where it's actually being used yet or anything, but it looks pretty good. You know, there's no contact has to be made with the other vehicle and all. Like, it seems a lot safer, like, and a lot more accuracy, I suppose, than trying to get a spike strip out to stop the car, you know, and depending on the situation. So yeah, like like to see more of that, I suppose, because that seems like a good system. And Simon, they hacked it via the internet connected radio. See that's the thing about a lot of these hackers and all. They're always find some way in. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing we were talking about. That Salacious was talking about there, Dave, about that net that kind of wraps around the tires and brings the car to a stop. And Dad farted is saying they're supposed to start using that in June 2024 in the state of. But hopefully they start. Hopefully they start using stuff like that. Yeah, because it looks pretty good. And it look really effective.
We had some audio issues there for a moment, but I believe the spike strip did hit it, even though we didn't think it did initially.
I actually missed that there, guys.
And we got that out to you. But if that left tire goes, hopefully this will slowly slow down. Now, I hadn't actually watched that video. I didn't know it came to an abrupt end like that, but I didn't see it hitting a spike strip there. I was too busy talking, I suppose. But let's try and have a look there. I don't know, guys. I don't think it hit a spike strip. Yeah, but that other technology there about the, I'll see actually, can I find that clip that I was looking at? Can I find that clip? Oh yeah, there's a good one there. I think that, yeah, we'll have a look at this clip. Saying about police in Phoenix. I think they must be using it already. Yeah, no, I seen that Dad farted it just in the state of, and then I thought you had just hadn't typed it in, or you had hit enter or something before you had typed it. Yeah, so I'll get this other clip up. Yeah, this I hopefully they have this. There's a possible kidnapping stopped by Phoenix PD using this particular device we were talking about. So we have a look at this here.
Phoenix police say they stopped a potential kidnapping and ransom during a chase in the East Valley last night. They say two men kidnapped a woman because they wanted money from a relative and were previously involved in criminal activity. But police used an unusual and brand new technique to stop the car, one you've seen before right here on 12 News. Team 12's William Pitts shows us the Grappler.
It's been a few years since we told you about the Grappler, a net that'll basically stop car chases, but now it's been perfected and it's been used. A possible kidnapping stopped in its tracks. Phoenix police stopping a car with two suspects accused of kidnapping a woman overnight. An officer hauling away a bunch of yellow nylon bands. Cops only saying it was a mechanical grappler device. That device is called the Grappler, and it was invented by Leonard Stock in Peoria.
We're still on our first year, And it's been fantastic with the agencies that are using it, and we're very excited that Phoenix is one of them.
We met Leonard a few years ago when he had a prototype and an awesome commercial.
The superior way to end a pursuit.
What he didn't have was an actual product.
When the videos were going viral, we had agencies emailing, calling, saying, hey, how can we get a hold of one?
Here's how it works. The net drops down and the cops drive up to the fleeing car. The net goes over the back tire, wraps around it, and stops it. The police car hits the brakes and the grappler stays attached like a lasso.
We pull these pins out.
Fast forward 3 years and the grappler is in departments across the country. It's been redesigned to hide in plain sight, looking just like the front bumper of a cop car.
We have several agencies that are using it. There are approximately 30 captures out in the field.
In fact, you've seen it before, even if you don't know it. In this pursuit video 12 News obtained earlier this year, that's a grappler on the front of a police cruiser, stopping the chase car on the freeway. Stock says it's better than a pit maneuver where a car could skid out of control, putting people in danger.
In the pursuit from last night, there was someone innocent in the vehicle. And so a pit maneuver or some of the other techniques may not have been appropriate.
He's only been selling the grappler for a year. Stock's hoping it's the next big thing in police gear. William Pitts, 12 News.
Yeah, so it seems like a good device. Now that they said it was new, that clip was from 3 years ago, but there's a good little clip in it there of it being used. And obviously in that situation where they stopped that lady from being kidnapped, it was good. And also like that's a great situation to use it in, because they don't want to do a pit maneuver on the car with somebody in it. They may injure that person, especially maybe in a situation where there's kids in the car. That's another good technique. Yeah, so it's good technology. Hopefully more departments get that, because it does seem like it is pretty effective. And as some of you are saying there in the comments, spike strips, yeah, they can be problematic in terms of like trying to actually get the car to go over it if the officer's seen. I actually have a clip, now that we're on that subject, actually I have a clip there I'm going to show in a second of exactly how ineffective they can be. But in terms of like if the officer's saying, well, that's just the end of it, they'll try swerve around, and they may even drive at the officer that's like holding the spike strips or whatever. Then, as Dave was saying there, you have the risk of taking your own cars out as well if they're not quick enough or whatever, slowing the other officers down then also, or taking some cars out of the pursuit altogether. And then Pick saying they can be dangerous, cars could flip either. That's another thing. And then another thing you have, when some of these criminals will keep driving anyway on the rims, and that's create more risk. You're damaging the road, and you know they don't really have any control at that stage. But here's this other clip. This is kind of on topic for this. It's this is exactly why spike strips could be ineffective. Now I don't know how good that technology that we were just looking at would be in a situation where you're against a motorbike. It might send the guy flying off it, like, but in this situation we'll see how definitely when you're on a motorbike the spike strips aren't really effective. The bike's too nimble, like. So yeah, we'll just have a look at this clip. This clip's from the UK, and the officer this is a built-up area. The officer's trying to put a spike strip out to stop this motorcycle. So let's have a look at this.
Wrong timing or what?
Done. Now, when I first watched that clip, I thought he was actually going for the lady on the bicycle. I thought, what? You know, but I'd say she didn't know what was going on. It's like, why is he running at me with a spike strip? But yeah, you can see how that's ineffective there in terms of the guy seeing him a mile away. Didn't matter if he was hiding behind that mailbox there or whatever. The guy seeing him a mile away. I'm just going to play it again there.
Wrong timing or what?
Done. Well, sorry, it wasn't actually a mailbox. It was a bin, but it maybe if he had been behind the mailbox, he would have had more of a chance. Those English mailboxes are pretty tall, those ones on the street, so he might have had some chance of hiding behind that. But no, the guy definitely seen him a mile away, so you're not going to stop him that way. And most likely, if he had ran over the strips, he would have just jumped off the bike and started running on foot anyway. So would have had a foot chase on. Um, and Simon Mitchner saying, sarcasm alert, can we just applaud the fact that someone in the US has developed a method of stopping criminals that does not involve more guns? But that's good. It's a peaceful solution. It just wraps around the tires, no rounds fired. Definitely, like Celeste is saying, it's definitely less messy anyway. And less pain as well. The criminals should be thankful if the departments have these things on the cars. The grappler, I think it's called. Yeah, I could call it like a net or something. No, it's got the what you use. Your man's calling it the grappler. But yeah. But yeah, spike strips. Yeah, maybe spike strips are on the way out. Maybe they're kind of going to be some old technology very soon, with stuff like that coming out. And then I suppose some of the new cars that are coming out now, like someone was saying just there earlier on in the comments, a lot of the new cars now with all this connectivity to the internet and stuff like that, they kind of could be open for hacking and stuff like that. We probably have seen a couple of instances of that with, like, I think it was some of those electric self-driving cars. I think there was some hacking one of those a couple of years ago or something like that. But and yeah, Roshi's right there. The gun isn't actually getting up to go out and shoot people itself. It's somebody that's deciding to do that, you know. And that's the thing when people are talking about, you know, when it comes to the hot topic and of like gun control and stuff like that. That I suppose when you think about it, you could have all the control there, like, and still, like, there's, like, even here in Ireland, like, you know, our gun laws are pretty strict in comparison to some other countries, like even the US, like, and there's still people get shot here, like, you know, so like it's you know, you can't predict what somebody's going to do, you know, like when they have all these background checks and all, like somebody could go in and have their background check and they could be completely of sound mind and all, and everything's all good and whatever, like, and something could happen to that person weeks, months, years down the road and completely change their whole, you know, mental state, like, you know, whatever the situation may be. And you can't predict that, you know, and you can't predict what someone's going to get annoyed about and decide to do something crazy, like, just without thinking, you know. So it's very hard to, so yeah, it is a people problem. It's not so much, you know, and I suppose you could take everybody's guns away and somebody will still get their hands on guns if they want them, you know. So it's you know, I don't think that's the solution either, like. Simon saying with the bike going that slow, he'd have been better off with a baseball bat. I think so. He probably would have had more luck. Baseball, even maybe the taser, deploy the taser at the guy or something, like, you know, as he was slowing down. But yeah, I wonder that Salacious, if you hijack a police car, is it extra charge because it's a police vehicle, or did they still just charge you, you know, as theft, like, or whatever? I suppose in some places, I suppose if you damage a police vehicle or something like that, it's probably, yeah, of course, it's criminal damage, but I suppose you might get charged with, you know, damaging a public service vehicle or you know, maybe there is another charge for it where it's kind of more. I suppose it is. It's kind of like it's more brazen, like, do you know what I mean, than a normal theft, like. So yeah, maybe it should be a bit more of a higher penalty for it. Peck saying we have strict gun laws here, but some South states just shot a couple of cops. And whereabouts are you, Peck? I think you told me before during one of the streams I was doing when I was out and about, but I can't remember. And Simon saying I'm not sure. Celeste, it may depend on if you falsely use any of the systems. When, oh yeah, that could be another thing. Yeah, like, you know, when those guys get caught like trying to stop people, like in their phony police cars, their DIY police cars and stuff like that. Yeah, they usually get like charged with, you know, using like emergency equipment inappropriately and stuff like that. So yeah, I suppose there is an argument there. Oh, in Australia, and I didn't actually see that about that sovereign citizens shooting a couple of cops. I don't know, was that like very recently, or was it like maybe a month or two ago? Because I thought I seen something there about police officers, but they were ambushed or something like that. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I'm getting that confused with something else. Oh yeah, like if you harm a canine, it's like assaulting a police officer or whatever. Yeah, because I think they have the same protections as an officer or whatever, or you'd be charged the same. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I did see something about that. Because I recall something about these officers. I think even one of them could have been a female officer or something, and I think they were ambushed or something like that. Or they went out. It was one of those situations where these people were held up somewhere or something like that. But yeah, I'm surprised as well. Like we didn't see more crazy sovereign citizens when all that lockdowns and stuff were happening, because like when you think about it, like that's like government saying things, and they don't agree with the government. So I'm surprised you didn't see more like kind of militant sovereign citizens when that was going on. They were kind of, I suppose, they were mainly confined to kind of giving out in the store about being asked to wear their masks or whatever, like, or for getting hassled by the police or whatever. But yeah, they didn't have time to go out and get together. Dave saying it was a love triangle. I see. That's never good. I seen there was a story there a couple of months ago about some officer. I think I might have even covered it in a live stream, or maybe I was intending to cover it in a live stream, and I didn't actually do that. But there was this officer. He was like a police officer in New York, and he had been having some sort of an online relationship with a lady that was living in, I think it could have been California, which was definitely on the West Coast somewhere anyway, but I'm pretty sure it was California. And like something happened. I think her husband found out about the whole situation that was going on, and then he ended up going the whole way across the country and then murdering the two of them. And I just thought that was bizarre. The fact that like he's a police officer. I don't know what was going on. I think like when the husband found out about it, like, your mom was, that's what it was. Your mom was trying to end it or something, this online relationship. And then he headed over there and then obviously confronted her or him or whatever at the house, and stuff went down. But like, why would you throw away your whole career and stuff like that? There has to be, other issues at play there. But, it's just it's crazy what some people do. So while I'm chatting here, I might as well get another clip up there, and let it just play there. Yeah, this is another stolen cruiser, and this is the one that I was saying. It's a sheriff's cruiser stolen in LA. Female suspect tops 160 miles an hour in a 2-county chase. Pursuit was from Compton to Anaheim. So yeah, we'll play this in the background there. And get that going there. Let's turn it down a little bit. I don't know how it sounds now. If Kiwi Dave and the wife left one brother for the other brother and screwed them both over. So that was bound to end badly. No, it wasn't the husband. It was the guy. Like, so the husband and wife lived over on the West Coast somewhere, and the guy she was like having some online thing with was a police officer over in like the New York area or something. And then he actually headed across the country to California. He drove the whole way across the country to like whatever it was. It must have been to confront her or to confront the husband. And then that just whatever went down there, I think, like, he ended up shooting the husband and obviously the wife, or whatever, with the other way around her. But yeah, it was a bad situation.
But last watching the tracking of the air.
But she hadn't actually met up with this guy or not. There was some sort of online chatting going on or something like that.
We'll have to see what that suspect does, whether they get onto the freeway.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, Dave. Stick to your own ball.
Just went through that intersection here, just through Artesia here, still moving northbound. We're just about to hit the 91 freeway, and looks like we're going to get on the 91 freeway going east.
Oh yeah, you meant the case in Australia.
Here, and speed's picking up. Looking at the traffic up ahead, it is pretty light on that 91 freeway.
I just have to keep wondering how these people keep getting hold of all these police cars.
Their biggest concern is any weapons in the car, and if they usually they are locked up.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your
those weapons are locked.
Oh, StreamYard's getting a bit out of pocket there. I'm using StreamYard and they're advertising in the middle of the stream, like that wasn't agreed upon.
Usually those weapons are locked in the center console.
Absolutely,
so
Kevin.
Speed's picking up here. Speed's picking up. It's the airship is tracking them about 70 miles an hour here. We're going eastbound on the 91 freeway, and we're going to be coming up to Lakewood Boulevard.
I wonder, did she turn the lights on in the police car, or were they already on? Maybe it was a traffic stop.
Unknown as well as look at the erratic driving right now that we're looking at, and a lot of the people who are driving on the road as well, fellow motorists, they have no idea that this is a stolen cruiser from a sheriff's deputy, and right now they're just seeing.
Oh yeah, that's true. They just see that flying up.
Going at a high
up the outside there, and they just think it's the actual police.
What we're clocking on Skyfox, and clearly this is a dangerous situation just in terms of driving a vehicle.
But this day and age is pretty stupid to hijack police cars, so, like, especially in the United States, because it says in Los Angeles they must be tracked. They must have some sort of GPS tracker in them, you know. So, like, even if they're not right on your tail, they're gonna know where you are. And there's always a helicopter available.
But we did see, as you pulled out earlier from that shot, when we were just over Long Beach, we did see several other cruisers in pursuit of this suspect. As well as
Dave must have been in trouble again. Not YouTube friendly. I don't like the sound of that.
Of more sheriff deputies following and hopefully catching up to that suspect. But again, we're marking this vehicle as.
Well, the police aren't actually that far behind. I thought they were a good bit away. Like, you know, I was saying, the helicopters kind of following, but at least she's not going crazy now at the minute, like on the speed. But it does say there that she tops 160, so
clearly we don't know the motive at this point.
Not good.
And we don't know what the situation is. But again, now going into
it's salacious. I can't imagine what it's like if you actually have your cruiser stolen, and you know, after it, like, obviously there's concern at the start, but you know, when you get back to the station afterwards at the end of the shift, I'm pretty sure there's some there's some choice things said. But yeah, that'd be a hard one to live down. I actually seen some post on Instagram there before Christmas. It was like some precinct in the NYPD. It says that it was some joke, like, you know, that I think another station had posted up on their notice board or something, and it basically said whatever precinct it was, the first foot pursuit called off in NYPD history. Congratulations, or something it said. I was like, what? How does a foot pursuit get called off? It was too dangerous, you know. Maybe a foot pursuit might get called off if the footpaths were covered in ice. Perhaps I'll give him that, maybe, but
are those speeds correct? It's clocking 112 miles.
Peg said I tried to steal a police car in Ireland, but it was just a horse and carriage. He must have got one of the good ones then, one of the upgraded models.
Exactly what the airship and the ground
you know,
calling out as well. So those are real speeds there. These going up and down.
Considering some of the other police cars around, like we have a lot of Hyundais and stuff like that, which you know, they probably wouldn't keep up with some of these more like high performance cars, you know, and most of the criminals are going to be using these like Audis and BMWs and stuff like that, kind of more high powered engines. Now some of the traffic car cars like that. I think they have a couple of BMWs and stuff like that, but it's not like even in the UK with some of the cars that they're like traffic police have and all that. But and then like a lot of those, even those like that cruiser that's stolen in this clip here, even those sort of cruisers, they're massive. Like they're compared to like, you know, the sort of SUVs we'd have here, like they're really, you know, beefy, like, if you know what I mean. Like they're a good chunk of a machine, like, whereas like ours are more kind of like, you know, to be more like obviously converted, you know, family Jeeps or whatever you want to call them, like SUVs. But yeah, but they do have some good cars, but at the same time it's saying like, yeah, with what cars the criminals do be using, you know, it can be sometimes it can be an uphill battle. I used to like some of those old you know, the Holden cars that they used to have. Like, you used to see them on I can't remember, there was an Australian show, I think it was called Police 10-7 or something like that, you know, where they were going around with the traffic police. There was a couple of those Australian shows where they were going around with the traffic police and stuff like that. And they had a few good cars. I like some of those Holden police cars. I don't know. I think is did that company cease production and all that, or something like that. Or I remember reading something about that a while ago. I have a habit of, I remember reading everything, this, that, the other, but I can't actually remember the things. But I yeah, some of those Holdens that they have in it, they were pretty cool. Yeah, it's a lot different even there over there in Australia, like with some of the stuff like like in terms of the checkpoints that they were having and all for drink driving and stuff. Like, I thought it was unusual the way they had it. I think at one particular checkpoint, it was like, I don't know if they do this with all of them. They had like a bus there, you know, and they just like when they catch people drink driving, they just load everyone up on a bus and then take everyone away together, like, instead of and you know, instead of like officers going back to the station continually with people or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was a very efficient system. And thanks very much to Salacious for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Salacious said, because this is such a lovely lunch and stream today. Also, you're having your lunch. Well, I hope you're enjoying your lunch. It's kind of dinner time here in Ireland. Kind of it's 20 to 7 in the afternoon, and it's still quite bright here, with the owl changing the clock there recently and stuff like that. We're kind of getting a good stretch in the evening, which is nice. And then Dave saying a Police 10-7 was a Kiwi show. I'm sorry, Dave, I was getting it confused there, but yeah, no, that was a good show. I remember I used to watch that. I think there's actually loads of clips and stuff of that actually on YouTube, which is good. I think that's where I was watching some of it, but it used to be on TV all the time. I remember they used to do some stuff where they'd have like 3 or 4 episodes of Cops, like one after another, and you know, at nighttime when all that like regular programming would finish up for the night, they'd have like loads of these episodes of Cops playing one after another. It used to be cool to be able to just sit there and watch them, like. That was a good few years ago. Like, I don't really watch that much TV now. You know, I'd watch most stuff kind of on the internet, but oh yeah, the RBT. Yeah, and I think there was another show. There was another show all about RBT checkpoints. I think there was. Yeah, I remember there was another series, but some crazy stuff, yeah, as well. Like you do see in some of those shows. But it's good to kind of watch some police shows from different countries and just see how things are done differently. Yeah, it's a pity though that it wasn't that it didn't stay. They've said it was canned as it wasn't culturally friendly. Yeah, it's a shame though, isn't it? Like, because like I like shows like that. Oh, in Australia, the show was just called RBT. The new one is Highway Cops. Like, it shows a lighter side of the cops. Yeah, I think. See, maybe some of the older shows, yeah, because I think a lot of that is happening now in some of those shows where it's more, they're kind of trying to put more entertainment into it, as opposed to just just police work. Like, if you know what I mean, they're trying to kind of show personality, and I suppose in terms of like public relations and all, that's a good thing. But for people that are just like fans of looking at the workings of the stuff, like you probably rather see more of the just the stops and stuff like that or whatever. But yeah, I think it's still that maybe they're trying to appeal to kind of more younger audiences as well with that sort of thing, but yeah, there's a lot of things changing lately, in terms of from when I was younger as well, especially like loads of these like cartoon characters and all. They look so different and all now. It looks so weird. I remember a lot of people were giving out about the new Super Mario. They were saying that they gave Mario a bit too big of a butt in it or something like that. There's a lot of people slating them about that, but yeah, I don't know why they have to toy around with everything, but I don't know. It's just like a bit of nostalgia, I suppose. But even like if you look at some of the stuff, like some of the toys these days, like I see some of the stuff in the stores, like that, like I would have like had as a kid, like, and like I always think like not with everything, like some stuff are some things are still good, but you see some things and the quality isn't as great as it probably was years ago, in terms of they're probably trying to make them cheaper now and stuff like that. But yeah, and I don't know if anybody remembers those Tamagotchi things. They were like a little pet that you had on this little like pixelated screen. And I remember having one of those as a kid, and I thought like, oh yeah, I forgot all about those. And I only seen one about, I'd say it was about a month or so ago somewhere for sale, and they were €25. And I thought, there's no way they were €25 when I was a kid, because I wouldn't have been bought one, at the time. Like, there would have been a lot of money. But I was just saying, that's crazy, the price for that now. Like, and it's literally just like it's not like advanced or nothing. There's no high grade technology in it. Like, it's just a little pixelated screen. Yeah, they were annoying and died all the time. Yeah, they were always pooping everywhere. You had to clean up. It was terrible. It'd actually be easier and less annoying just having an actual pet of some description. Do you know what I mean? These things are mad, and yeah, you were on them all the time. But I suppose like that was the thing back then. But yeah, I can't believe the price of them now, and I don't know who's paying that price for them. Like, they're really like I just don't know how they're warranting that price. Let's go back. I've been daydreaming there, and this chase is happening here. So I'll just turn back on the sound, see what they're saying.
And yeah, just trying to find our way out now, kind of parallel on the railroad tracks. They're almost, and then cut back out.
Yeah.
And still, they're talking about setting up a containment of everything here. Okay, it's about almost getting stuck in the dirt here. So they're
probably done herself in now, going in here.
Sure that she is not able to get out of this. Hopefully, they're going to try to contain this in the yard here.
I hope so. I hope that they've now blocked off the entranceway with other black and whites. It's going to be. They've just.
Okay.
Nope. Of course, we've seen that multiple times. And they were not able to block off the entranceway. So while we thought that was going to be a surefire way to end this, It doesn't. Oh, there's the pit.
Okay,
There's the pit.
they're trying to pit it there, try to get it to come around.
The suspect trying to make her way back out. Okay, so they have. So now they've got the suspect surrounded right now.
She's
yes,
done
so this
now.
is East Commercial Street and North Olive Street, and you see plenty of deputies out.
Well, I haven't actually watched
Obviously,
this
their
video,
guns
so
drawn.
hopefully
This
there's
is a
no
very dangerous
blasting
situation
going on here.
because, A, she's using the vehicle as a deadly weapon. There are weapons inside, although we understand that she doesn't have access to the weapons.
She just that's good now that they're closing it in, so she can't actually move anywhere.
Yep.
So now they're gonna block it in, and then they're gonna.
Oh.
Oh no,
Oh my goodness! So this deputy just got out.
He got out of it, but it didn't. Yeah,
he didn't put it in
but
park.
he didn't lock it into gear.
He didn't lock it into gear,
Oh.
and then thank goodness he was able to get back in there. Okay, so it's just a matter of time, but extremely dangerous situation. You see all of the deputies now at the rear, guns drawn. It doesn't appear that the driver will be able to carry on, at least in the vehicle. Will the
Now they blocked it off substantially in front, so there's no way even though that other SUV rolled back.
It rolled back. I was like, why are they backing away from it?
You can see there's an arrest team that's kind of making their put their
that
team
was a bad
together
move.
there
Luckily,
alongside
she didn't
as well
move.
as a shield. So they may try to come up to the vehicle and just try to pull the suspect out there. They're trying to clear everybody, all the other bystanders downrange of this, what's going on right now. But they don't know if the suspect had it, but it looks like they're going to move in here. They're going to try to. They'll either break the window or they'll just try to open. They can.
Yeah,
open the
just
door
after
themselves.
thinking
They
they had the
have general
weapons
keys
that are probably in that
just
cruiser.
open the door and try to get the suspect out.
They're going to yank the suspect out.
They're pull her out.
Put her in handcuffs.
Put her in handcuffs, take her into custody. It doesn't look like there's a lot of struggle going on there, which is a good sign. So it looks like the person is just giving up at this point. So
that is
deputies
that
putting
with
the
her.
cuffs on her. And so it looks like this is going to come to a stop here. And with all those high speeds, I didn't hear of any collisions that happened throughout.
Luckily, there was no collisions.
Especially with those speeds of 100 miles an hour or more.
Yeah, upwards of 100 miles per hour, 120 at one point, and plenty of near misses. So, yes, now the suspect is on her feet in handcuffs. We're seeing, as we zoom in,
They're getting to zoom in, the park
better
walk.
look, but those deputies are now going to cart her off to jail. This all happened at 1:30. And Kevin, do we know? We understand that the vehicle was parked. Was this person stopped by deputies when she stole the cruiser? Do we know?
We don't know. We're hearing that possibly the call came out on the radio that deputy said someone jumped into their car. This was out of the city of Compton where this all started. So what we had heard initially was that the deputies called out that somebody was into their car. There was a second patrol unit that was with those deputies, so they were able to start the pursuit right off of the bat. But you can see here that person being taken into custody, kind of wearing a security a shirt that says security on the back. So we will have to later get the backstory on exactly who this is, who this suspect is, and what.
Yeah, I wonder what the situation was there with her.
Get started, but it does so far. It doesn't sound like this was on a traffic stop. This was just they were on a call of some kind, and this person just jumped into the vehicle and took off.
And you're
Crazy.
absolutely right about that. Nice
Yeah, like I thought it might have been a traffic stop, and she might have got into the cruiser on the officer or something like that. But it looks like she was just they were on a different call, and she just hopped in and drove off. I suppose maybe something to look at there about leaving keys in the cruiser, but I don't know. Not good. At least nobody was injured there, and like they were saying, there was no collisions that they were aware of at the time. So that's good. And I just saying Dave saying I'm clearly too old to remember those toys. And I have I think I should have a picture of one of them here. Yeah, see, there on the screen, the Tamagotchi's like in 25 quid. What are we seeing now while we're here? What are I saying? There were 25 quid. They were being, look at there. I'm afraid. Oh, that's free delivery over 25. Tamagotchi. Let me have a look here. Smith's Toys. Oh, just have the cookies. But yeah, 19.99. Yeah, here. And there's a cheaper one there. 16.99 one, but €12 one. Maybe they're getting a little bit better. Maybe the one I seen was some sort of like special edition or something like that. Or maybe it depends on the design you're getting. It's all look kind of, a lot of them look like a similar animal. There's a Star Wars one's $24.99. But anyway, yeah, those are the Tamagotchis. Yeah, so they were a thing that, I don't know if they're still a thing, but there was some being sold there. And then Peck was saying, I got a paper route and mowed lawns and saved up for a Super Nintendo. It was $200, I think. See, yeah, I remember I had one of those as well, but I think I got that like as like a hand-me-down off my cousin when he upgraded to like a PlayStation when they came out. I think I ended up with that, but I remember there was a store in town that had like loads of those games, and like I'm pretty sure they were all secondhand or whatever. I think someone had like traded them in or whatever, and I remember going down and being able to buy loads of different like games real cheap, like loads of games for, but like pity now I don't still have that, because it'd be a nice thing to still have, like play some of the old games or something. And Des also saying, do you remember the TV show Viper? Some of those toys that, no, I don't know that show Viper. I haven't actually heard of it. I just, when you say Viper, I'm thinking of that guy. There's a guy he does videos on YouTube. Like he has he was in like a TV series over here. He was called the Viper. He was like this dodgy character in one of these towns, you know. I was just thinking of him. He's funny. In Peck Tennessee, shotguns and LA Cruisers a lot. Yeah, the shotguns and ARs, I think, as well. I think, well, that was in one of the other cruisers that was in that other clip. Yeah, and that's the thing, like Peck as well. Like in certain situations, the police do need to keep the car running. Depending on the situation, and like, I suppose, like, how often do they get stolen? Is it a problem enough that that has to be looked at or something? But yeah, I know what you mean. They need to be able to keep the vehicle running, especially like if you're stopping a vehicle, and an officer gets out and you're halfway up to the car and they go to take off. Like that's wasting a couple of seconds when you're getting back in, having to put in the key and start it, and they're already heading off down the road. So yeah, I'd say he didn't know what was going on, Salacious, when the car started rolling back. Like, I thought there was someone in it reversing away, and I was thinking, why did they pull up to her bumper and then start reversing away again? It didn't make sense, but then, yeah, it does make sense that he didn't put the parking brake on. Yeah, you never know, Salacious. Those Tamagotchis could be worth something, like, down the, especially if there's some of the like the older school ones. Like, people collect that sort of stuff and all. Like, you go onto eBay and you'll find like anything on it, and there's always there's always a buyer for whatever, so yeah, they could end up being worth something. But yeah, I remember having quite a few of those. I can't remember if they were like, if it was because it was losing them, or they broke easily, or what's the story. I they were probably dying all the time. I was thinking, oh, this has to be broken, but it was probably just my poor parenting skills, I suppose. I don't know if you call it parenting or whatever, but you see it there on the thing there. You have you feed them and you play with them, give them medicine, and you can get, yeah, there's one where you give out to them. It's like called discipline or something. You kind of shout at them or something when they're bold. Yeah, it's funny, like, but simpler times they were. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, yeah, well, the late 90s, yeah. So those would have been some of the older ones, because, like, think, yeah, it would have been probably the late 90s, early 2000s when I would have had one, like, you know. So yeah, like, it's some of those might even be worse because they're the original ones that came out, like, you know. And I was looking actually at the packet when I was down there, like, when I seen those ones, to see was it the same company that was making them, and the same company's still making them. Um, I thought, you know, they would have, like, kind of made their money and then kind of, like, you know, got out of it or something, but, you know, no, they hung on to it. I think they're trying to relaunch it again or something, because I've started seeing them crop up in places again, and the price has gone up as well. So, like, yeah, there must be some sort of a slight demand for them, but um, I'm surprised there's not some app on a phone now for it, because, like, a lot of these kids they have, like, a phone now or whatever, or, you know, access to a tablet or whatever. So I'm surprised there's not some sort of, like, Tamagotchi app that they're doing now rather than a physical thing, you know. But yeah, that's a good one. They saying the Viper had this gadget that fired an electro charge to fry the car's electric. That'd be actually a good thing, especially using some of the newer cars with all the electrics in them. If they had something like that, it just disable the car, like. Oh yeah, yeah, Simon. I think, yeah, I think it's if it dies or whatever, or gets too sick or whatever, I think you can just, like, restart. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think it's like the thing is ruined, like, or whatever. Like, you know, I think you can restart again anyway. Although nowadays with the companies, it's probably, I think, if it dies, to make you go out and buy another one. So I'd have put the price up. You know what I mean? But Dave was saying I was working in the late 90s and slashes, and I was wiping butts in the late 90s, Dave. I wasn't working in the late 90s. Definitely not. Um I was only a chap. But yeah, that's the thing, like, you know. But I always think that, you know, that there were better times back then, for in some instances, you know. Sure, I even remember the time before Facebook, when there was Bebo as well. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers Bebo. Um, and, like, just thinking back on that, that was very cringeworthy, but that was the thing at the time. I was saying, and I'm only after thinking there, in the other stream I'm planning on doing, hopefully later on tonight, I have some clips to play in that, from that I've kind of had there for a little while, because I've been meaning to do this stream, and, like, there was stuff. This stream is actually, to be honest with you, it's been kind of in the pipeline since way back when that spy balloon was shot down, because I was going to do some talking about that and stuff in it. But obviously that's been quite a long time ago, and a lot of other stuff's happened since then. But I'm not going to be touching on that particular thing, but I might still touch on that train derailment that happened there, just what's been happening lately with that, because I thought that was a pretty bad situation there, uh, in uh, in Ohio there. But that would have been one of the topics I was talking about. So I will kind of touch on that, and just in what's kind of going on there at the moment, because I kind of found that interesting in the way that whole thing went down there. Um, but yeah, that's one thing that I was gonna do. But we have that court case, as I was saying, with your man, the monk, was up in court, and that's to do with the Regency Hotel shooting, which we covered in our Irish Crime live stream there a while ago. And so I'll have kind of an update on that, and kind of on the verdict of that. And I think, just bear with me for a second. yeah, I just want to put up this. So I posted on Instagram the other day about this kind of in relation to what I was going to do in that stream. Just going to get that up on the screen there. So yeah, this is off our Instagram. So this is your man on the paper. There is Jerry the Monk Hutch. And I have to say, they're very clever use of headlines there. That's why I took the photograph. I thought they were very, very. We had a field day on this, so I thought the best one there was Mr. Unhutchable, and then close second was the Midas Hutch. So I thought they were the two best ones there. But yeah, so he was found not guilty of the murder of David Byrne, which took place at the Regency Hotel in Whitehall in Dublin on the 5th of February 2016. And if you want kind of a bit to get more up to speed on that, go to go to our live stream tab, on the channel page, and you should be able to see the Irish Crime live stream. And even if you just want to scroll to the murder of David Byrne, that section in it, it'll kind of bring you up to speed on kind of what went on at the Regency Hotel. Now, when I do the stream, we kind of talk about the verdict and stuff. It kind of, obviously, when we're talking about it, it kind of will touch back little bits on what went on before. So kind of, you won't be too badly lost if you don't get a chance to look back on it or whatever. But yeah, so I think he's still in the country at the moment. He probably planning on going back to Spain, where he was brought over from. He was arrested there. He was out having lunch with somebody, and he was just nabbed by the Spanish police, and there was a guard over there as well. And then he was brought back here, and he's been in custody since until this trial, and he's obviously been acquitted. Not acquitted. He's been found not guilty. Of the murder of David Byrne. So funny thing with that, a few people have went to jail in relation to that incident, but nobody has actually been charged with the murder, and convicted of the murder. So I know you could say, they're in those sort of circles and stuff like that happens to you, but at the end of the day, I do feel bad for the man's parents. At the end of the day, their son's been murdered and nobody's really been held accountable for it as such. It's just, when it's a kind of a organized crime feuds type situation, I suppose a lot of people don't want to talk, and there's influence there to make things go a certain way. So I suppose, sad situation, like, when people are losing their lives, but we'll kind of have a look at that situation and a couple other news stories. I also have a little thing that I meant to cover in my last live stream, but I never got around to it. It's about a police dog. And so yeah, so I want to cover that. And then, as I said, we'll have a few clips to look at. I'm just having a look here to see. Can I yeah, so a couple of the clips that we'll be looking at, kind of give a little preview or something. Well, not so much a preview, but a kind of a rundown of what we might be looking at there. Yeah, so there'll obviously be that Kia kid, as I said, with the guy trying to rob that lady's car. We're going to have a look at a lady live streaming a traffic stop, and she thought she was being slick, but it didn't end well for her. It's only a short clip of that, but we're going to have a look at that. Some more chases. We're going to have an unusual drugs bust where the drugs were concealed. It's a new one for me anyway. And we're going to see another guy where some burglar that's breaking into like a car garage or showroom or whatever. He gets actually stuck in the building, and he's not quite happy when he gets caught. So we're going to have a look at that, and a few other little bits there. And we're just going to have another little look at, I don't know if some of you guys seen that YouTube short I did recently of the robbery suspects that were fleeing from the police and they nearly got hit by the train, or they nearly hit the train, their train nearly hit them. I suppose train can't get out of the way, so I suppose they nearly hit the train. Very close shave there, all right, but I'll kind of play the clip of that there as well, and we'll kind of have a talk about what people think of that and all. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this stream up now in a couple of minutes, and gonna go get some dinner, and then I should hopefully be back in a couple of hours' time with this other stream. But I just wanted to make sure everything was working all right, because it's been quite a long time, and it'd just be my luck that I'd say to everybody, you know, oh, like there's a live stream later on, and then we go to do it, and then something happens. So I just said I'd come on for a while here and see how everyone was. See, and a few people were around, so that's good. And I thank you very much for joining me. But so hopefully later on we will meet back again for another live stream and look at some of those things and have a talk about that case as well. Yeah, and then of course, as I said, I have a few clips in that. So thanks to everyone for joining us, and thanks very much to Simon Mitchner and Salacious for the super chats as well. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a nice evening until I see you hopefully later on. So take care, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, Salacious, yeah, I hope you did enjoy your lunch. I hope it's a nice one for you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, Dave, I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner yet. I'm gonna go down and see what's down there, see what I can rustle up. But yeah, so thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you all later, and stay safe and take care, everybody.